Hello everyone, this is Brother Benson and I'm joined with Miguda. Miguda, habari ya jioni?
Niko swadakta, hali yangu iko poa na jioni yangu naona iko njema na pia nahisi kama niko mzima.
Okay, asante sana. Na hebu nikuulize, kuna hope. How do we call hope in Kiswahili? Tumaini. Na na neema ni nini?
Masi.
Oh, okay. Sasa wacha tukuje hapo kwa tumaini. Ukisema kwamba uko na tumaini inamaanisha nini?
Kuwa na tumaini ni kukuwa na matarajio kwa kitu ama kwa jambo fulani ambao wewe mwenyewe unategemea ama unatia bidii wakati unaifanya, lakini mwishowe unatumaini ya kwamba kuenda kuwa na matunda ama wewe binafsi huenda ukavuna. Sasa matumaini inategemea na ile bidii umeweka katika jambo fulani ama kazi fulani. Sasa wakati unaweka bidii, baadaye utakuwa na matumaini kuja baada ya bidii. Sasa hata ukiangalia kwa mfano imani, hiyo ni faith. Hiyo ni mambo ya sasa Kikristo ama mambo ya bingu, lakini mambo na tumaini ni tu ile jambo fulani au kitu fulani wewe kama binadamu unatia bidii, lakini mwishowe, kwa mfano yule mwanafunzi anayesoma ako na matumaini ya kwamba siku moja huenda akakuwa daktari na kutibu watu. Sasa pengine akiweka bidii kwa masomo zake huenda akakuwa daktari na kutibu watu vile alikuwa anatia bidii.
Unajua kwa nini nimekuuliza swali hilo?
Sijui kaka.
Mara mingi nadhani ukienda katika makao zetu ama katika soko zetu ambazo ziko mjini ama tuseme kwamba ziko kule mashambani, unapata kwamba kuna mama ambaye ako na mandizi ambao anataka kuuza, ama kama si mandizi lakini ni mchuuzi mdogo, yani tuseme hivyo, lakini anauza, anaziweka kwa ile kitoweo, naweza sema hivyo, ya kitoweo. Ako na imani kuwa akipeleka hizi sokoni zitauzwa. Ako na imani kwamba leo nikienda na hizi labda ndizi zangu, maembe zangu, chochote tu ataweka katika kitoweo, anaamini kwamba zitauzwa. Hiyo ni imani ama hiyo ni nini? Ile kutokuwa tu najua itauzwa, lakini najua ni nani atanunua, lakini ako na hiyo.
Hiyo ni imani. Imani ni jambo ambao tunasema ni jambo la kibingu. Ni jambo la, ni kitu ambayo hauna uhakika. Sasa lazima ukuwe na ile imani. Kama sasa mimi nina imani ya kwamba siku moja nina imani ya kwamba siku moja nitakuwa mkwasi au mdosi. Ninaamini ya kwamba siku moja huenda nikaona Yesu Kristo uso kwa uso. Nina imani kwamba siku moja huenda nikafika katika kiti cha enzi ili nikae na malaika. Lakini ni kitu ambao baada hauna uhakika. Ni kitu ambao ukuna imani, ni kitu ambao unaamini tu kwa kuomba na kuamini Mungu ukafika mbinguni. Sasa kwa kwenda sokoni unaamini kwamba utauza. Lakini tumaini tofauti. Tumaini kitu jambo unaofanya, unachukua kitendo au unaweka bidii yako ya kwamba mimi saa hizi nacheza soka. Lakini niko na hakika kwamba nikichezea timu ya Gor Mahia siku moja mimi nitakuwa ninachezea Harambee Stars ama nikaenda ngao mcheze nicheze Arsenal. Ama wakati nafanya masomo zangu, niko na tumaini ya kwamba mimi ni mwanafunzi bora na pia mimi naelewa hisabati vizuri. Nina tumaini ya kwamba siku moja naweza kuwa mwalimu nzuri wa hisabati ama naweza kuwa engineer. Sasa ningependa kuna tofauti ya imani na tumaini. Tumaini ni ile jambo wewe unafanya kibinafsi, hata usipokuwa na imani uende ukafanyika. Lakini imani, pengine unaweza fika sokoni ukose kuuza, pengine unaweza kufa ukose kwenda mbinguni. Sasa ni kitu ambaye ile ni jambo la kibingu kwa maoni yangu.
Okay, asante sana. Unajua mara mingi ni swali watu huwa wanauliza swali. Yaani saa zingine ukikaa chini utakafakari, sana sana unajua nimechukua hiyo salenda ya kina mama zetu sana sana wakiwa kule nyumbani. Yaani mama anaingia katika biashara za tudogo hizi, lakini ako na imani kwamba hizi bidhaa zangu ambao mimi niko nayo nitapeleka sokoni, lakini nina imani kwamba nitauza, lakini hana hakika, si ndio? Lakini ile imani ipo kwamba nitauza. Hebu sasa wewe ukilinganisha hayo na hii, kwanza hii nasema hivi, ujana wako utaamua uzeeni ucheze golf au ucheze draft, kwa sababu wanaanza ujana wako utaamua uzeeni. Hiyo inamaanisha nini?
Nafikiria kuna jambo mawili. Jambo la kwanza, wakati mtu ni mdogo katika ujana wake, pia tunaambiwa ya kwamba ujana ni moshi au ujana ni maji ya moto. Sasa ujana ni moshi, ni jambo la kwamba mtu akae kwa ujana milele kwa milele. Kuna wakati utafika ukazeeka, na kama ulikuwa kijana na kuna zile jambo ulikuwa unayafanya ulimwenguni, kwa mfano ulikuwa mchezaji ama ulikuwa unafanya mchezo wa kuigiza, wakati siku za usoni huenda ukawa bado unaonekana mtu mdogo. Lakini kama wewe ulikuwa ni mtu wa kukaa tu mtaani ama kugagaa mtaani, kuna Swahili Mombasa wanasema unagagaa mtaani. Ukikuwa mzee wa kugagaa mtaani, unapokuwa mzee unakuwa mtu bure kabisa katika jamii. Ndio posa tulisemanga si kila mtu mzee ni werevu na wako na hekima. Tunasemanga hekima huja na umri, na si ati hao watu wote wazee wako na hekima. Hata wale watu wajinga uzeeka. Uzee si ya watu werevu pekee na hekima, hata wale watu Uswahili sema wale watu pumbavu uzeeka. Sasa mimi ningependa kusema tu hivi, kama wewe ni mchanga, unafaa kutumia wakati wako vizuri. Kwa mfano, kuna vitu vingi unaweza fanya. Sasa kama sisi wakati wetu wa ujana tumeamua kujiunga na siasa za nchi. Na vile vile kuna jambo tunafanya hapa na pale. Sasa wakati siku za usoni unaweza kuwa hata pengine, kama kwa mapenzi ya Mungu hii channel yetu ikuwe kitu kikubwa, unaweza ajiri watu wadogo katika hiki channel yetu. Na unafanya sasa, hiyo ndio imani. Sasa unapata ni vizuri kufanya jambo kama wewe ni mchanga kuliko ngoja wakati wa uzee wako kufanya kitu. Sasa kama hakuna uwezi amua uzee wako wakati wewe ni mzee, utaamua tu uzee wako wakati wewe ni mchanga. Hiyo ndio ningependa kutafsiri jambo hilo.
Okay, asante sana. Unajua mimi labda niko na tafsiri tofauti, na mimi nataka kuiangalia kwa ndani zaidi. Unakumbuka mara mingi unapata kwamba sana sana binadamu huwa tunaogopa sana kukua wazee. Unajua katika hali ya kawaida ukawa kama wewe huko umekutana kwa mkutano, labda kwa mkutano wa hadhara, alafu kuna jamaa akakuja akamwambia, bana wewe umezeeka wewe, unasikiaje wewe? Unasikia kama kuna jamaa amekukosea wewe heshima, kwa sababu tuseme katika mkutano wa hadhara na mtu katokea tu mahali akasema, bwana wewe habari gani wewe? Bwana wewe umezeeka, huu si umri wako, umezeeka sana. Unajua ni kama unaweza ona dharau kulingana na wale jamaa amenikosea heshima, yani kakuja pali kwa hadhara mbele ya umma, jamaa kaniambia nimezeeka, na kwa kweli ukiangalia kweli umri imeenda sasa. Na unapata kwamba kuna hata wale baadhi ya watu ukienda katika mtandaoni utapata kwamba wanasema kuna madawa ambao wanaweza kukupatia ili ikomeshe wewe kukua mzee, unaona. Kwa lugha ya kimombo tunaita aging, ni kwamba unakuwa mzee. Sasa unapata harakati hiyo, kitu ambacho itaamua ujana wako ni uzeeni. Kadri umri inazidi kuenda, bado tu uzeeni itaamua ujana wako. Ndio maana unaona nasema ujana wako utaiamua uzeeni. Ucheze golf ama ucheze draft, hata tuseme kwamba kama uzeeni nakuja, hata umeze dawa ufanye chochote, ile uzeeni bado itakuwa tu hiyo ujana wako. Uzeeni hiyo itaamuliwa na ujana wako. Mimi hiyo ndo tafsiri yangu, ni kwamba hakuna kitu ambacho kinaweza fanya wewe kosa kuwa mzee ama kukuwa na umri mingi, yani unawacha ujana ukienda katika hiyo tuseme kama uzeeni. Lakini hiyo uzeeni tu itakuwa inakutoa tu mpaka unastukia tu umetoka. Utangoja mtu akuje kwa mkutano wa hadhara na kwambie kakaangu bana wewe umezeeka wewe. Hapana. Ni ile tu uzeeni tu itapata. Na hiyo nditaamua ujana wako, kwa sababu unapata mara mingi unapata hata kama watu walikuwa mavijana, baada ya watu labda kukua kwa ndoa na labda Mungu awabariki na watoto, utasikia mtu anasema mazejo, mimi watoto wangu wamenitoa kwa raha. Mimi saizi ningekuwa nacheza muziki, na maanisha nini? Mimi saizi ningekuwa naenda pahali pa kustarehe, saizi siwezi enda kwa sababu msichana wangu ashakuwa mkubwa, kijana wangu pia anaenda kwa hizo sehemu za starehe. Huyu jamaa amenitoa ujana. Huyu mtoto wangu amenitoa ujana. Tunaelewa hiyo baba?
Nakuelewa vizuri, lakini unapata pia kuna vile kama wewe ni ujanja kwa maisha, acha niseme hivyo. Utakuwa wakati mimi naenda kuburudika, unapata niko na wale wazee katika hizo makao, wale watu wanaburudika. Sasa hao wazee wanafanya nini hapo na kuna familia? Sasa unajua kama wewe ni ujanja, uende kukaa na familia wako, wako sehemu, umewatuza vizuri. Lakini vitu kama kwenda kushabikia soka utapatikana, kwenda kwa Luo Festival utapatikana, kwenda kwa rally za siasa utapatikana, kwenda katika club utapatikana. Bado wewe unajichanganya na wale wale watoto wadogo. Sasa unapata inalingana na mtu pia alafu pia inalingana pia vile umepanga na bibi yako ama ile rafiki yako. Juu unaweza pata uko na bibi mzuri ambaye yeye ashughulika na mambo zako yako tu zake, provided umewapatia kila kitu, wewe fanya vitu zako. Sasa unapata kwa mfano nikwambie, angalia hao wanasiasa, hata si wanasiasa ni sasa wako katika public, ndio maana zazungumzia hao. Kuna watu wengi ukienda kuburudika unapata watu wa rika wa babu yako wewe hapo katika meza, wanaburudika, wanalewa, wanacheza muziki, wanafanya kila kitu ambayo vijana wanafanya. Hata unapata kuna mambo tu mengi sana, hata wanacheza golf. Alafu unapata pia kama wewe ni uko katika ujana wako, kuna zile vitu unafaa kufanya ili pia usizeeke sana ama usikue mtu mwenye amechoka kama bado ni mdogo. Unaweza fanya kwa mfano mambo kama unafanya mazoezi. Kana mazoezi pia unaweza kuwa na mkutano kama hii yetu, watu nakutana hapa, tunajadiliana, tunafanya mjadala, unapata maoni tofauti kwa watu wengine, unaunda marafiki. Sasa usikae tu yule mtu ambaye wewe kazi yako tu umetulia tu kwa nyumba, au kai na wenzako, au fanya hata kitu chochote. Wewe kwa nyumba kazi nyumba, hata ufanyi mazoezi. Sasa utazeeka, si hata kuzeeka tu ya mwili, hata kuzeeka ya kifikra ama kiakili, juu hauna maarifa mapya. Sasa pia inalingana, sasa sema tu ati ni general, lakini kwangu inalingana na mtu. Kuna hata watu wako miaka 50 ama 60 lakini bado wanasumbua katika town. Wanasumbua sana, hata kwa low festival wanasumbua sana. Unapata hao bado ni marafiki wa Gen Z, wale wasichana wa Gen Z wanawakatia vibaya.
Lakini ndugu yangu anasema active mind helps against aging tremendously. Asante sana. But leo ukisema kwamba unaweza pata kwamba umeingia kikumbi, mtu anasema wewe bwana hauna haya wewe.
Hapo nakubaliana na Apopsi Mo. Amesema kitu kizuri kabisa. Lazima ukuwe na active mind ndio utazeeka, bado utakuwa tu area. Unapata saa hizi wakati tulikuwa tumeenda bungeni kama Gen Z, wakati tulikuwa tunaenda bungeni ile wakati wa finance bill, wakati Sifuna alitokelezea na ku defend Gen Z wasipige risasi na polisi, kuna watu wanaamini kwamba wakati alisema ya kwamba yeye anafuata party leader wake Raila Odinga, hapo watu walimkemea kwamba Sifuna, wewe unaongea hivi lakini wewe unakulanga Gen Z. Sasa unapata Sifuna juu yeye bado ile akili yake iko active. Sasa ako na ile wakati nzuri ya kufanya uhusiano na wale na kama ukatika rika wa Sifuna na wewe umetulia sana kama wale wenye unaoelewa, lakini wewe bado nafasi ya kutongoza Gen Z.
Okay. Asante sana kakaangu. Mimi nimekubali, lakini hata wale ambao wanatutazama pia wako na fursa ya kusema yale ambao labda wanaweza sema kulingana na semi ya leo kwamba ujana, unaona, hebu acha nirudie kidogo, kuna mali niliandika, lakini ni jambo mzuri na kubelene na ndugu yetu pia. Ujana wako utaamua uzeeni ucheze golf ama ucheze draft. Miguda, thank you so much, and everyone who has joined, including Apopsi MOU. Thank you so much for joining. I can also see Mr. Makubura is with us on the YouTube, and hopefully you will find time to join us as we continue with the conversation of today. There's so much that is going on. Actually, we have Devolution conference that is in Homa Bay, and there are some photos that are going around the Homa Bay headquarters, the Homa Bay waterfront, and all that. And most of the counties, especially coming from the Luo Nation, are asking, what are other governors doing, you know? And all this is attributed to the president and his administration for making it possible. What is your take on what is trending in Homa Bay, and what message have you captured, especially in the Devolution that is going today in Homa Bay, the conference? And if you look at ever since the Devolution came into space, what has it really achieved, and what are areas that the improvement should be done?
Before I talked about Devolution, first let me say that what we were discussing with you is just, we can say in Swahili that chemsha bongo. Lazima ukae mtu ambaye unachemsha bongo. Ukichemsha bongo na auzeeki. Bado watu kama kina Uncle Moody. Ulimwona Uncle Moody hivi juzi?
Uncle Moody ni
kuna miaka 97 na baada kwa area.
Uncle Moody
ya Wood. Sasa unapata wanapenda kuchemsha bongo na wanapenda kufanya zile mazoezi na si watu wakaa tu, lazima wako very active. Sasa hiyo pia inaweza fanya mtu asizeeke sana. So when I want to talk about Devolution in Homa Bay, first let me also admit that since we promulgated our constitution in 2010, this I think this is the first time we have held Devolution conference in Homa Bay, and it was a good one because you understand that we devolved the government to county levels because there was too much concentration of power at national level. Therefore, it was within our wisdom as the people of Republic of Kenya to devolve or to diffuse more powers to the devolved function, whereby now functions were being devolved, and we established two governments, the county government and the central government. But now, because Homa Bay has been hosting it, to me, people can say it is too much Homa Bay. But remember, this is the first time they're hosting the Devolution Conference. But leave alone the other activities like Mashujaa Day celebration and many trips the president has made to Homa Bay. You understand right now we are in a different political landscape, and there is the wooing of the Nyanza people to vote for William Ruto, the so-called two-term, the so-called Queen break. So politically, it's also playing into their side that they had an opportunity to make sure that they support us by one of the things, taking more functions of the government to the region, like Madaraka Day, Mashujaa Day, things like Devolution Conference, and also the people of Homa Bay, you understand, the internal PS is Raymond Omolo, and Raymond Omolo is the national coordinator, and most of the things is done in his office. The way when Kibiche was the internal PS, most of the things were being taken to Kirinyaga, and sometimes the people will ask you, what is having that office? What did you bring to us as the people of your region? So it's very important also to engage your people anytime you have an opportunity to serve the public. And what I've realized that there are many activities that have taken place within Homa Bay town. There was also launching, or I don't know, the county government headquarters. Remember when Manga came to office, he removed the county government headquarters from where they were to a different place. So President was going today to open it officially, and now it's functional. That one I saw. And also I saw the president having a good time. Things like there was frying fish, and also it was a state lodge. Now the state lodge at Homa Bay is very functional. It's very functional and very effective. And also I saw the Council of Governors playing against Senate. Remember, the Senate are the body that oversight the counties. So whenever we have a conference, they must be present. So you saw them playing, and I had the Senate against the Council of Governors, and they were demanding 16 million because we are in the seasons of giving people millions. But I saw a cunning hair in Mr. President. You know, he's very cunning. He said that he can only offer $1 million to players who are playing against a team who is coming from outside international game. But within the country, there is no award. So far, I can say they have tried. I saw Mwalimu Kaiga, the Rigathi Gachagua's friend, enjoying. Actually, he went there earlier. He was there when they were. He was the chair, but he went earlier, and also he led the delegation to Ruma National Park. There are so many historical sites which have been now made to be public, whereby I saw them at Ruma National Park, I saw them at Tom Mboya Mausoleum, and I believe that it is very much good for Devolution to be devolved, the conference, and I think next time it will go to a different place in Homa Bay. But the question has to be, why Homa Bay? Why Homa Bay? I think that's now what people have been asked the question. But most importantly, I can just say, since we had a devolution, we have seen at least we have made steps as a country. There are things we are seeing which have been working, and I just want to state one thing. When I'm glad because currently, as we speak, on August 2025, all pending bills for the county have been settled. That is the good news with this devolution, that there's no pending bills for counties. So anybody, any contractor or any worker who have not been paid with the county is up to now to hold your county into accountable, not the national government. The National Treasury has released disbursed all the funds. So currently we don't have any pending bills for the county. That is the good news with this 2025 devolution conference.
Okay, thank you so much. I saw one of the comments here by, I'll come to Mr. Njiru. I see Mr. Njiru over there. Says that now I understand why Raila said, I am sure we shall go beyond 2027. Yes, sometimes that one can play part. Also, hello, Brother Benson, Gypsy Corner, thank you so much for joining. I'm also saying, what is our good brand Kenya Democracy talking of people frying fish is stupid. We do it daily. that's the Kenya sickness where we think these people are not human. Bure kabisa. Okay, our mothers did this daily. Root of frying fish is hogwash. Okay, thank you so much for your comment. And now, when we look at devolution, and now it's being celebrated in Homa Bay, there are areas, especially when it comes to corruption. When you see what is happening with the governor, you see that there is a massive devolve of corruption of so many projects that are started in the counties, but they don't materialize or they don't actualize. Because we're not only focusing in Homa Bay, we can look at other counties, especially when you go to Migori, you go to Siaya, you go to other counties. The corruption that we usually witness, especially at the county level, I don't know whether they've got a chance to discuss about it and see how can we, especially at the county level, find a way of dealing with the corruption and make sure that the services are being delivered. Because sometimes when you go to some of the hospitals that are being operated by the county, since you find people sharing bed and something issues like that.
I think corruption is not in the counties per se, but corruption originates from the central government, from the national government. It is them who have devolved the corruption to the counties. And remember, we are budgeting for corruption as a country, because you'll find out that the contractor who is constructing a certain road is have a direct link with Mr. President. The hotels which are being used by the counties, for instance, if you go to Stella Resort, you find that those hotels are related to Raila Odinga in the case of ODM zone. So you find out corruption has been evolved in a clever way whereby they can carry functions into hotels which are being owned by the big people, in quote. So corruption is originated from the central government. And even the issue of medicines, you find out it is the same people who are diverting medicine back to Nairobi. So that I can say corruption in the county is just how a corrupt individual is relating with anybody at the county level. Maybe the case of Nakuru County, Governor Kihika, the husband, and the president, the relationship on how they are managing the county. So I can that because even if you look at the MCS are, I can say MCS in quote, Minnesota. The only two who have money at the county level are the governor and the speaker and the auditor general of the county. So you find that the speaker of the county and the governor and the auditor, the people who are having money. So in my view, this corruption is being budgeted at the parliament, when parliament are doing budget from the national government. So it is something that it cannot be discussed, because it is them who are carrying out that corruption.
Okay, thank you so much. And Njiro, I agree with you, but like what you want to know is also politics is about perception. You know, there are a few people who actually, when they see president doing that, you know, look at the issue of Asala narrative and all that. So there are people who really feel like, okay, is one of us, or is within our structure, because the social structures of life, you know. So that is all about politics. You know, they're politicians, so they have to do something that will catch the attention of the people over there. Now, Miguda, you know, there's something also that we need to talk about before we go into the main discussion. We're talking about the compensation. You know, when last week, when there was a burial of the late Fibia CEO, there was that gazettement that came out to for the compensation of violence, especially with the from the police, you know, and like we are looking at it and say that now the government has agreed to do the compensation, and you're looking at what are the modalities on how you're going to compensate, because like you cannot just say we are going to compensate. Is it going to be an act of parliament and the money is going to be budgeted, or it's just like the gazettement and there's nothing that is going to take place, so that to find a process of work compensation? Jiro, wait, I'm sending you.
You understand that whenever there was a gazettement notice for compensation by the government, first we were discussing about the criteria on how we're going to do the compensation. Are we going to do it in a manner whereby there are specific amount to be paid for people, and whenever victims have been paid money, are we going to admit that now we are the people who are liable for the offenses which are committed or the atrocities? If at all we decided to pay the victims, it's like we are admitting that, okay, we, the government, actually we committed such atrocities and we have come in to pay. Now, the backstop with them and they're the responsible, they need to compensate the victims. But what about just society? Are we living? So it's like anytime, any day, I can commit atrocities because I have money and I'll compensate the victims. So what is the way to justice? Doesn't mean that justice is like having money, I commit crime, then I pay the victim, then I move on. To me, that is not enough. Maybe they can say, okay, what do you want people? What's your alternative? They can say sort many things, but to me, that is not enough. And also, they should stop whatever they're doing. And other than even the criteria or the amount they're giving people, how are you going to identify that? Because many people have been victims, even on the people who are died. The people who died. What about the people who are injured? How are you going to know that? How many people are injured? Because there were so many people who were arrested. Like the other time, 560 people were arrested. So how gonna identify these people and bring them that, okay, so and so was injured even on a finger, and how much should a person who has been injured on a finger paid, and how much a person who has been hit by a bullet paid, or rubber bullet, or someone who has been hit by a tear gas. So how are we going to do that? So to me, until it is done, that is when we can debate about it for now, but I think maybe it can be politically castigated to satisfy the public question about compensation.
And you know, you've talked about compensation, and especially when do you want to compensate? Now that one brings about the issue of you saying that, okay, we are the people who were who committed these atrocities, and that's why we are compensating. You know, and you've talked about the modalities and ways, and you know, this is going to run all the way from 2007 to where we are right now. And let's say that now the compensation is going to take place. We still have people who have never been compensated, especially from the 207, 208. What is the criteria that you are going to use, especially to make sure that those who had it, those who experienced it in the first place, not even before 208, 209, even prior before that, there are so many cases whereby we had the post-election violence, you know, and some of them have never been compensated. You know, some of them have died, they've never been compensated. How are you going to make sure that everybody who has gone through this will get compensation, and it should be equal across the board?
That's why I concluded by saying maybe it's to satisfy the political question of compensation. Because even if some people have died before, maybe you can compensate the family or the people left behind. But that one is not enough. If someone maybe has been missing in action, or somebody maybe he doesn't have a family, how are you going to compensate? And how much can you give people? How much can you pay for lives? And that's why, all in all, there are conviction that if anybody has been charged and there was that gap for conviction, that if he's found to be guilty, he should be convicted, and so that that person can be taken to a prison, maybe he can be rehabilitated, maybe he can be reformed, or any other activities. Because all in all, how much can you pay? How much do you have? And what if me, I happen to commit all those atrocities? I'm not the president. I'm not even the CS. So to me, I'll just be convicted. And the other people are not being convicted. They are just allowed to walk freely because they have money. That's why I've said maybe it is not clear until they are done with it. So we can just say it's just to answer the political question, or from the position that compensation, just satisfy the public.
Okay, thank you so much. And we are doing, I'm still waiting for Mr. Njiro because I shared the link with him. I wanted him to come. He was asking the link. And there's also something here that we need to talk about. And I agree with our good friend Gibson Connor. We had different development under different presidents and different regions, and no one said goose about it. Why are we questioning now? Okay, yeah, because like each and this is the time. This is their time. I can remember when president was when Raila had that good with the Uhuru Kenyatta, Kisumu was like the shipyard. You remember the shipyard? Actually, if you go to Kisumu when that shipyard was being constructed, there was a place that we used to it used to be called Railways, and Railways was starting, if you know, the Maseno University, the tall building of Maseno University. That was a railways plot all the way going down to the river. To the lake, I mean. And if you knew where we used to have like Luangni Beach, and the Luangni Beach is where the people used to go and eat samaki before it was taken to Dunga. And that area belonged to railways. All those houses where Akamba bus used to park and all that, we used to call it Akamba Market. I'm going to Akamba, it was nicknamed Akamba. All that place was cleared, all those businesses, the stalls and all that, all went when they were doing the shipyard. So, and it came with like what Gibson say, that each and every region will benefit depending on the president who is there. So if you are you have the map of Kisumu back then, you would picture the Akamba bus area and the Maseno going down to the lake. So you have that. Now, there's also something here, Mr. Miguda, that we want also to share, and maybe we can also listen to our viewers could also share with us. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has announced the launch of an 8-year hormonal intrauterine device, IDU, in Kenya, making it one of the first countries along Nigeria and India to receive their new long-term contraceptive option. According to the Voice of America, this UDI is the world first contraceptive of its kind, offering such extended effectiveness. The rationale for choosing Kenya. What could be the rationale for choosing Kenya? What did they see in Kenya that they decided, okay, should be one of the countries that should be part of the journey for this idea? What could be the rationale?
High population, or maybe third world country, or maybe understand. It also how you relate with them. Mr. President can relate with them. Maybe there's how, maybe there's one of the trial and error. Yeah. They are being given token. The other day it was about to vaccine animals, and it was Kenya. We also heard about the vaccine to prevent HIV AIDS. Then Kenya was among the countries in Africa. Right now, this contraceptive, then Kenya. So I don't know, Kenya has been a test lab, per se, for this, anything that is new in the country. But maybe I think high population, maybe the birth rate is high, or Kenya has a good deal with the farm, the bill farm. I don't know if that will be the case. But I'm not sure why Kenya, but I think maybe it has been a norm whereby mostly anything to do with vaccine, anything to do with the health, test lab has been Kenya and other African countries.
So who usually decides for Kenya, and who usually decides, because this is going to act on the Kenya population, and can somebody just decide for Kenyans as a whole, where you have this population of, if it is a high population of the country? Because like maybe it might be, you talked about high population, maybe high population or high reproductive health services, and maybe they would also consider maybe majority of Kenyans cannot access the contraceptive that are available in the market, they would say so. You know, it can be one of the reason why, or and they also can talk about the high pregnancy is a way of controlling high pregnancy, especially in the country. But now, all that is being raised, what are the Kenyans themselves saying? Because like this is 8-year contraceptive that is going to take 8 years. But now you have to look at what are the side effects of it. Hello, Miguda. Okay, Miguda. So Miguda left, but like this is one of the initiative that is being started by Bill Gates Foundation, especially. They are looking at on how to bring this to Kenya. Kenya is one of the countries that has been in the list to try this, and it is a total of 2.5 billion investment to improve women health globally and expand access to long-term family planning. Miguda, thank you so much for coming back. So I was asking you about when you look at the pros and the cons of this, and Kenyans themselves, especially because this is dealing with the women of the country. What is their take on this and the legislation? What are the legislators saying?
If it is dealing with women, you understand, we have what is called gender and women law, and there's an act that guide on how, for instance, you want to deal with things like contraceptives, things like, you understand, even our parliament had discussed things like my dress, my choice, particularly for women, and any other thing that touch women, including their so-called rights. It can be dealt with at that level. At the same time, there ought to be engagement by the public in general and the representatives at their level to ensure that it is something that can be unanimously accepted by the women. And because you find out, even if you bring it to Kenya, Brother Benson, in Kenya, we are not only Kikuyus, or we are not only Luos, Kambas. Remember, in Kenya, we are also have Somalis. And from my own understanding, the Somalis people, they don't apply those contraceptives. And they are, someone can have maybe more than one wife, maybe 4 wives. Then they have too many children. Like I've resided at Eastleigh, and I've also resided at where they are. There are so many. There are too many children in a household of Somali. If bring the Kenya, which nation are you targeting? Are you targeting the entire nation, whereby everyone in Kenya can voluntarily admit to it, or it's just for the other nations to voluntarily get it? That question must be asked, because we are not only Kenyans by Somali Borana, but we have an extension of some nations which do not even right now apply the current ones we are having. And if you want to put it maybe an 8-year, and we also have a cultural practice. That's why I told you this issue of gender and women and law, and also custom law, our customs, African customary law. There's some culture whereby you must give them a son or a daughter. In that case, they want a child if you are married. So there's systematic that at least 2 or at least 3. So if it's a cultural practice in certain nations, then you want to interfere it by introduction of that one because of the so-called bill farm or whatever one. But initially we used to live without those things. And even right now, with the ones we are having right now, but you find out even the Gen Zs who are couples, there are some of them who are having more than 3 kids. You know, they're still young. It means they will have more in future.
So that's why they're bringing that contraceptive, because like they feel like the population is growing too high, too fast. And
That's why I was talking about the issue of birth rate. Maybe the birth rate is high because the data they're taking from our hospitals, the birth rate is high. Like I've told that in like the young people, Marco Bura's age, my age, the ones who have spouses.
Yeah.
You can find they have maybe 3 kids. And remember, they're still young. It means even at the age of 35 or 40, they will still have to sire more. So it means as they are trying to look at the current ones we are having, as not sorted out the birth rate issue. That one could be one of the reasons informing the decision to bring the 8-year one. Like if you have 2 kids right now, you put it for the 8 years, maybe you can add 1. So by that time you can even say, okay, I don't want to add more kids. Maybe those could be the reasons, Sally. But remember, there are some things that must be taken into consideration: gender and women, customs, cultural practices, and also representatives of the women. You can't just decide for people, one person, that I want to decide for the nations. Like all the nations in Kenya must apply the so-called contraceptive. That one is unacceptable, and no one will admit that one.
Okay, thank you so much. Marco Bura, how are you doing, sir?
Good evening, I'm doing good. Salama nashukuru. Na wasalimu ndugu yangu Migoda na wewe. Kwa salama.
Asante sana. Siku yako imekuwa aje kaka?
Siku yangu imekuwa vyema nashukuru.
Okay, labda kwa pilika zako za kutafuta maisha, bahari kemkem ambao ulikutana nacho, ama jambo jipya ambao labda unaweza katuambia sisi na wale ambao wanatutazama?
Okay, siku yangu naweza sema imekuwa vyema. Kuanzia asubuhi ni mambo tu hapa na pale, na vile vile kwa kutembea. Unajua wakati tunapo kwa tuna grow, when we are growing up, on a daily basis, you get to interact with new people, you get to see new things, and it's a way of learning. So of course I've met quite a number of different people, and I'm learning each and new day. Na tena naweza sema ya kwamba knowledge is something that tunapatana nayo kila wakati. Na pia nisalimie mwenzetu Jipsaikona. Jipsaikona aliomba tukue tunaweka ni kama tulisahau, tukue tunaweka majina saa zingine, sijui kama zinaonekana, sioni side yangu.
Sijui wewe ndio umeingia labda ukanini, kwa sababu majina zilikuwepo.
Labda nimeingia ikatoroka.
Wewe ndio labda umefanya jambo, kwa sababu tulikuwa tumeanza na majina zetu zilikuwepo, Mr. Marco Bura.
Sijabadilisha any settings. I think nimeingia tu sijui. Okay, na tena aliomba. Jipsikona aliuliza tena, nilikuwa nimesahau, sikupata nafasi tuzungumzie. What was it? Pale kwa alikuwa naulizaje, nasahau aje. Is it what was it? Nikikumbuka nitakwambia.
Okay, sawa sawa.
Swali that I promised that tutajibu about members park or something.
Okay.
Otherwise I'm okay, nashukuru. Yeah, sure, thanks.
Okay, thank you so much. And we're just discussing about this whole issue of Bill Gates trying to bring in contraceptive that is almost like 8 years. It's going to take 8 years, and Kenya is among the country that has been chosen to be as the pioneers. And what is your take on it, and why Kenya?
Unajua Kenya, kitu mimi nimepata kugundua hivi karibuni ni kwamba Kenya is the only country in Africa that most of these countries from Europe, most of countries from America. Whenever they're starting anything or whenever they're coming up with a project, they use Kenya as a piloting country. To which in my own thinking, I don't like the fact that anything that is being tested ni Wakenya ndio wanatumiwa kama robots. I don't like that, because if all these things, you remember, this is not the first time. Even we've seen trials of whenever trials of vaccines are started. You remember the corona one, they were being tried, here in Kenya. And that is dangerous thing that we have to be very keen on.
Yeah.
And say that the issue of they're trying to introduce things to do with planning, family planning.
Yes, sir.
Hey. Sijui wameona Wakenya wana grow at a higher rate and they're becoming a threat to the world. I don't know. Yeah, but what I can say is that the birth rate in Africa has, of course, risen. And just because it has risen, my beliefs, my beliefs do not allow me to advocate for all this family planning and all this contraceptive use of contraceptives. So to me, of course, because my belief do not allow me, I wouldn't support anything to do with that. And whoever is interested in that, they have their own reason. But personally, I wouldn't advise people to go for that, because there's a way, I believe so, that people can control birth and all those things. If it was done before, in those old days, there were ways that our grandfathers used to ensure that they reduced the high rate of birth, and I think it worked. So the same ways can still work, because the reason why I don't support this is because the kind of chemicals that are used in these particular drugs come with very many side effects. Yeah. For example, I've seen this family planning that they give ladies, some of it make them to, wananona, mtu ananona tu from nowhere. Alafu tena shida yenye mimi nimewaona wakikuwa nayo is sometimes they are told that they're not going to get pregnant, but they get pregnant when they're not expecting, and it turns out that the babies that they are carrying, most of them wanakuwa na serious disabilities. That is why, courtesy of this family planning, we have so many children in Kenya. If you go to TikTok, for example, you'll see so many parents who are saying that, this is the outcome of family planning. And it makes the children come out to, they become a suffering.
But Makobura, I agree with you 100%. But at what point do that organization just decide that when you look at the geographical of Africa, the Africa has what we call their characteristics that they share. For instance, when you come the border of Kenya and Tanzania, there's some things that they do share. Even if you go to Tanzania, go to these countries that we border, there are things that we share. When we talk about the population increase, or the birth rate at which the Africans are giving birth, you cannot be very specific in all African country and you say that, okay, let's Kenya be the piloting. And that one comes to the issue of leadership, because like strong leaders will always oppose, especially such like initiative when it comes to their country, So does it mean that our leaders usually give in to this, and at the point of doing it, because like they don't do it for free, so there's that money that is coming.
No. Do you know why Kenya is the easiest way to do piloting? It's because these leaders are given there's amount of money that is given to them, and so they just admit
the money drives us, but we don't
that is the truth of the matter. The unfortunate bit is that whenever this piloting and all these things are being done, of course, there's money that is involved. If someone is coming to test things in your home, they have to put some money for precaution. And what has been happening is that our leaders have been praying so much that wamekuja wanafanya piloting, au watu wameweka pesa ya emergency na wanaomba ya kwamba emergency yote isitoke, so that they take that money, and that money is not coming directly to the government. So hizo ndo wanaibanga. Those are part of the money that they run away with. And what I can say is that it is them, it is the leadership that invites. Actually, they lobby. I can say that they lobby for these trials to be done in the country with an interest of going to get something out of it.
And yes? remember when there was the vaccine for the animals, domestic animals, especially this was going to the beef or the meat that we were eating. We were talking about vaccination of the meat, that because our meat could not gain access to the world market, and this one's also brought in a very big conversation in the country. And I don't know how far it went because I can remember when Mutahi Kagwe was hired, that one was one of his points, especially on how to educate and give the reasons why. And it was a very, very, very big campaign, especially even president himself was campaigning for that. I don't know where it ended, but like you find that all these pioneers, all this piloting, it comes to Kenya. And you talk about the money issue that we usually have, like we thrive so much on money. We are moneyed society. That what am I going to get?
Yeah, that's the truth of the matter, and it's been very unfortunate that we have a leadership that instead of actually advocating for whatever
is it this leadership or everywhere the people who are in the leadership, because like I've not heard even the opposition talking about this.
You know what, Brother Ben?
Yeah.
It is the leadership, of course, involves those in the opposition and those in the government. And since they've not come out, we've never seen any of them coming out to, to try protect the people of Kenya, to give a comment that at least is something that is geared towards protecting the lives of the people of Kenya. We've never seen that coming out from them. So it is a clear indication that this is something that they fully know, and they know that that is the only money that is not accountable, and it's not coming directly to the government coffers, and they're not actually in any way allowed. There's no way they can disclose or they can be followed on that. Okay. So they've always taken that advantage. It is unfortunate, but that is the fact of the matter. And just like I was giving you the examples, all these drugs which are being brought to Kenya, some of them have very serious effects to the country. You remember the pesticides which had been banned in the UK and other regions were being brought here in Kenya. Some of them were even killing animals, and some of them, when they are used, what happens is the effect that they cause is a serious effect. There are people in Kenya who are currently suffering courtesy of the pesticides which were used in the Republic of Kenya, which were actually not supposed to be used.
Yeah.
The other day I was watching TV and I saw a gentleman who has been on medication, and is being told that he had eaten some veggies which were, some spraying of, which was, that sprayed some pesticides on them. And that is something that is a threat to our lives. So I think the best thing we need to do as a country is first, especially the leaders, they need to come out and first protect the lives of the people by coming up with laws which are preventing such kind of activities from getting into the country. I remember the deputy speaker speaking about the same matter, and she did acknowledge the fact that there are so many pesticides which have been banned in other countries, and are very lethal
and
for
getting
human.
away. Yeah, they're getting away in the country.
Yeah, and they're being sold in Kenya, something which is very, very bad. So we need to come out, of course, and point out these issues without fear, because if we don't, it is either ourselves or brothers or sisters, so whoever is closer to us, ndio wataumia, and that is something that we need to really fight. For example, you remember even the issue of I was giving you an example of this, whatever, the Femi plan or whatever, which they used. I'd seen Gypsy Corner had written something there, I don't know, fat, so I don't know. You know, that thing comes with a lot of side effects, by the way.
Yep.
Very, very many. And part of the reason is that even the use, how it is supposed to be used, it is not really disclosed very well to the people who are using it. Hence, it is becoming a dangerous thing to the people. You find that they're not given enough education on now even to use it. And that is why you find that these people still get pregnant, and the kind of babies that they're giving birth to are children who are disabled, children who some of their body parts are not even well formed. And you know, that is a threat to the country, because the moment you start then giving people drugs which are going to make them deliver babies which are not productive for the society, it is not good. And again, it is making those families to suffer financially, to suffer mentally, and you know, it is something that really needs to be addressed in a way that, in a sober way.
Okay, thank you so much. And there was a documentary that we did back then in Kisumu about autism, and if you listen to it very carefully, you will come to realize that we still have a long way to go, especially when it comes to dealing with some of the developmental disabilities that usually get along with us or catch us when catch with us or our young ones when they are growing up. So that is something that we should and have more awareness, especially when such attempts are being done in the country, and you become a pilot. And you remember when they will be doing pilot, because like one thing that plays a major role is because like the poverty. If you are very poor, they are going to offer you a lot of money for you to be a specimen, for you to be a specimen. So, and majority of time, I know so many people will accept, so many young ladies will accept because of the nature or the environment and the poverty that we have. But at the end of the day, you don't look at the side effects. You can have it for 8 years, then what about after 8 years something comes which is a side effect? You might lose your life, then your family enjoys on your behalf. So those are some of the things that also you should look at, and especially our leaders, they should interrogate this. Not everything that comes is okay. And let me take this opportunity also to say hi, to speak and heal. I hope you are doing fine. We are yet to start our discussion, especially about what happened. And I saw our good friend Laban Misiani has mentioned something about it. And before we mention that, there's also something that also we need to talk about, because we saw Swale Sonko was really complaining when he did not go to State House, and he actually denounced his loyalty to Sakaja. But that is not the main issue. The main issue is Miguda. In brief, when you look at the materials that were displayed the other day, especially for the young people, so that they can go start the business, and you find a majority of these young people have never engaged in the business. That is one, and this is the first time they are engaging, or this is the time they are telling you, this is your motorbike, you can start engaging. Some of them have not gone through proper training, or has not passed through, especially like getting a valid driver license, driving license or riding license to allow you to be on the road. There's things to do with insurance. That is one. There's another thing also to do with orientation. How are you going to orientate them? And when you look at some of them also, the nature of their living, sometimes some of them, from the look of things, some of them tend to use some of this, what do we call it, the bruise, from the look of things, you could see that. And what you could also look at, Mr. Makobura, how are you going to prevent them that if I give him this, it's not going to be sold in the next 6 hours, because like that is the reality, because they've never engaged themselves in such like business. So at the end of the day, they will get it and then sell it. So then the question comes, are you empowering them, or is it empowerment really, or it's a way of just corrupting the society? Because like at the end of the day, it's going to sell it at a very cheaper cost. Yeah. It's not going to serve the purpose that is intended. That is one. Then secondly, if you look at the population, if you decide that everyone is going to own motorbike, or everyone is going to work on the housing project, whereby different people have different talents, what about the other population that do not find themselves in that environment where you are empowering?
Okay. Thank you so much. I want to say this, that the truth of the matter on the question that you've asked, I don't know whether I'm clear enough.
Yes.
The question that you've asked, what I can say is that, truth be told, this government is not prepared to deal with the challenges which are being faced by the youths, and specifically the issue of unemployment.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying this is because wamekuwa wakifanya kitu inaitwa pata potea. They come with this, it doesn't work, the youths come out complaining, then they improvise another. It fails, and then they come and improvise another. You remember they started with Hustler Fund, when Hustler Fund did not work, they started reintroducing sijui kazi mtaani. When there was a lot of pressure from the people, they went now back to affordable housing, telling them how youths are getting employed. When affordable now is not working, they are now again reintroducing sijui kazi mtaani, sijui empowerment. What is the next thing that they're going to come up with? What I can say, we be truthful and we say the truth. This government is not ready and do not have a plan on how to solve specifically the unemployment among the youths. And that is why they've been getting a lot of negative. We've been seeing, a negative force that is being directed to the government side. That is a clear sign that people are unsatisfied. The level of unsatisfaction among the youths is high, and it is a clear indication that the youths are suffering. The ground is not working. And even if I could ask, which method or which way did they identify the youth that they brought forth, that they were giving 50,000, or they were giving bikes, or they were giving empowerment? Those are the questions that others are asking. And if you keenly look into those issues, you'll find that those are close relatives to members of parliament who are then taken there.
No, Marco Bura, I don't think like that. Sorry, I don't think that they're close relatives. To me, I think these are the people who are singing to the members of parliament, the people who are really buying into their ideology and their kind of politics, because not everybody was invited. It was very selective.
That's why I'm saying, the question I'm asking is that, which formula did they use to single out, or to point out that these are the youths that we are going to give this, we are going to assist in this empowerment thing? Because if you ask me, in my village, or anybody that I've ever known, I do not even have a single friend who had been selected to be given 50,000, to be given whatever, or any assistance from the government.
Yeah.
If you ask Miguda, he will tell you the same. He does not know anyone. The question is, where did they get those people? And how are they going to come out and convince us that those are the youth? Because it is so unfortunate that when those people are there, they are using the term Kenyan youths. And the question is, where do I fall? Am I not a Kenyan youth? Kwani, are there some specific people who are supposed to be given any assistance with the government, and others are not supposed to be given? And I'm a Kenyan youth. Does it mean that I don't belong? This thing called a empowerment thing that this government continues using, I think it's, to me, if you ask me, I'll tell you that this is a way of conning the people of Kenya. This is a way of conning the youth of the Republic of Kenya. Because I also saw a gentleman who had been invited in State House. You remember when they were in State House the other day, walipewa soda na wakaambiwa watapewa pesa, wakupewa. na wakaanza kutupa hizo machupa huko.
Kuna wengine walipatiwa 2,000.
What does that tell you? The intention then when they were being taken there is that walikuwa wanaenda kufanyiwa empowerment. When the empowerment was not there, wanapewa soda. Soda itakupeleka hata nyumbani. You know, those are the questions. Then something else. I saw a gentleman who had also been taken there. Wakaambiwa wanaenda kupewa pikipiki. Wakaambiwa waende huko kwa gate, wanaenda kupewa pikipiki. Akifika kwa gate, ma-GSU wamejaa huko, wanaambiwa waende nyumbani. The question is, which country, you know, which kind of government does such kind of things to its citizen?
Okay.
It's so unfortunate, and we have to call out such activities or behavior, because if we don't, ni sisi tunaumia kama Wakenya.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm seeing my good brother. Njiru, how are you doing, sir? Hello, Mr. Njiru. Daktari.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
Very well, sir. Where did
okay, so
we waited for you for quite some time now.
Okay, don't worry. Unajua lazima kwanza nisikie vile mnachapa ili nijue storyline yenu inaelekea wapi. So that is why lazima nikae pembeni kidogo so that once nimeshika rhythm sasa ndio naingia. Unajua naweza ingia alafu niingie na mshene yangu.
Okay, sawa. So actually we've talked of various issues starting from we've talked about the devolution and the conference that is taking place in Homa Bay. We've also talked about the compensation that was gazetted the other day. We were just looking at what is the way forward. How are you going to compensate? And should there be a law that is enacted on how to make the process be very, very, very justified? You know, that is all we're talking about. We also talked about the contraceptive that we saw it's coming, that is going to put in place, and Kenya is going to be one of the countries to be the piloting. And we were asking ourselves why the country. So those are kind of the conversation that we've had. So maybe
Kenya to become pilot of what? Sorry, 1 minute. I didn't hear that. Kenya to become pilot for what?
There's a Bill Gates is coming up with a contraceptive that is going to be 8 years. And Kenya has been chosen, according to the reports, to be one of the piloting countries about it. We just discussed about it.
No, it is not that. Okay, to respond to that one quickly because that one is very easy. It's not that Kenya has been chosen. There is somebody who has eaten money on behalf of Kenya, and then unajua lazima tuongeage ukweli bwana Benzo. So kuna jamaa amekula na akasema nyinyi kujeni.
So that's what we are asking. And I say that why is it Kenya? Are we going to have a conversation as a country and say that this is good for us, or it is the deal is already made, so we have to go with what is in place? Oh, Njiru ametoka. Makobud, I think there's something wrong with my camera because I think I keep on freezing. I need to fix it. I don't know whether you can hold brief for me.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Maybe before you leave, there's another. Okay, I'll give my take on why Sifuna Babu-Wamuchomba Kibagendi meeting leaves Raila Ruto shocked.
We are coming to that. That is what we are going to discuss. We were just still discussing about the issues that are popping and issues that are of concern of the nation, and that is going to be our last topic. Maybe we can even jump to that because, like, I wanted to get the to get the view of Mr. Njiru, especially on various issues that we've discussed about the compensation. We want also get his view about the devolution that is taking place in the Homa Bay and what can we do about that. And maybe you did not tell us, or we did not give you a chance to say something about devolution in Homa Bay, and where do you feel that as a country, ever since we got the devolution process rolled out, where have we not done well, especially, and what can be improved?
Okay. I think what has really affected devolution is corruption, serious corruption that we've witnessed and we've seen in all levels. Whether money is coming from the national government, we've seen corruption in it. We've seen the government trying to to negotiate to reduce it, and then at times it comes and start having questions whether they should give the whole money, whether the money is being used rightly, and the issue of corruption has been here and there. Sometimes the national government is even not really ready to release the money if they remember that some of it is going to be taken. Wanasema eri we hold it tuibe na huku juu kabla tuipeleke huko chini. Such are the problems that devolution has faced. Of course, number one is corruption. Number two is what we call legislation, that is of course done by the government, by the parliament, and also by the national assemblies. The county assemblies. The national assembly, the senate, and even the county assembly. We've not had really good legislative laws which are put in place to ensure that everything moves smoothly. We've consistently heard of the National Assembly, the Senate sometimes accusing the National Assembly of not having done the right thing and giving them the way forward. We've had the county assemblies also complaining that they were not given some laws are still pending in the Senate or in the National Assembly, and these are some problems that devolution has faced. What I can say is that devolution is one of the best things that Kenya really had, but the implementation itself has also been a problem. We have quite a number of governors and leaders who really do not understand what devolution is all about. They really do not understand, and they do not know even how to implement the devolution. Devolution was totally meant to reduce, to diffuse power, to diffuse resources, and to bring closer
to the people.
What really they needed, the services that they needed. So partly these are some things that the people on the ground has not really received. It's unfortunate. We have problems in so many counties, where through devolution, so many projects were started and up to date, they have not been completed. The reason why they've not been completed is because the CEOs, that is the county government managers, the governors, do not understand the benefits and the true meaning of all the projects that were being done within the county levels. My wish and my prayer is that if the county CEOs would understand what devolution mean and the real intention why the people of Kenya in one way or another fought to bring, to ensure that devolution was put in the Constitution 2010, that was promulgated in 2010, then we would be in a good place. Devolution has stalled partly because of lack of enough finance, just like I did mention, where the national government has not found it easy to release the money to the counties. Hence, we've had what we call pending payments. We've had, a lot of debt that counties are holding, and then this debt sometimes there's what we call when you have a debt for long, there's an interest that you're supposed to pay it with. So you find that when it takes long and then it is then released, you find that the county uses a lot of money to pay for the interest, and not really using the money in doing what is needed. That is a challenge. That is some of the things that we need to point out.
But are there a few things that you could also point out that, especially when you look at the devolution that the devolution has done, that has benefited Kenyans?
Yeah. I can say partly. I can categorically say that there are so many negative things that we've seen.
What about the positive?
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
Okay, thank you.
I just wanted to close on the negative side, then I get to the positive side. I can confirm that there are so many negative things that we've seen since the devolution thing was brought to Kenya, and it is the reason why we are seeing these negative things is because of negligence among the leadership. These are things that can be solved. If it is a manner of money being released from the national government to the county, it does not take long. Immediately the budget is passed and money is there. Why can't you just release as per what the constitution says, so that the issues of pending bills, the issue of interest going to be paid, the issue of contractors stopping work waiting for money, these are things that we can solve. If it is an issue of making right laws, I can tell you, we have members of parliament, we have the senators, we have the county assemblies. These people are paid. They're supposed to do their role, oversight, making laws as per what the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, talks about.
Yeah.
They need to do that. Number 3, we need to have serious leaders who really understand that services are needed. The people of Kenya are suffering. They need the services. They are leaders. These leaders are subjects. They're supposed to be working for the people. If they truly understand what work to the people really mean, then we will automatically avoid, things like scandals that we are seeing within the county government. We will avoid things that we are seeing governors, fighting with the deputy governor. We will avoid things to do with governor fighting with county assembly members. We will avoid things like governor, trying to misuse money. If truly we had a leadership that understand their role, that is the negative side.
Okay.
Something positive.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Something positive that I've seen that Devolution has done,
Yeah.
we have to recommend. Partly what is happening today in Homa Bay, that is a confirmation that truly Devolution can work. It can work when people reason. It can work when people come together. It can work when we stop corruption. It can work when we have leaders who understand that people need service. Devolution partly has brought quite a number of services to the county levels. We have Huduma centers within all county governments, something that was not there before. We have, diffused. Power is somehow diffused in the sense that power is no longer 100% held within the national government, but at least it has been diffused and distributed. And that is a good thing, because today, if you want any service, you can approach any office just within the county, and you'll automatically, not automatically, let me not use that, because those are things that we are still fixing. We will get to a point where things will be automatic. But we have to acknowledge the fact that we've made a step. It is unfortunate that we are, 15 years after. By now, we should not be making baby steps. By now, we should be having someone who is walking, someone who has understood the challenges, and someone who understands the environment, someone who understands, everything within the devolution. It is unfortunate that we are not yet there, but I can confirm that devolution has partly opened so many parts of the country, and it has actually imefanya kitu mimi naweza ita, it has opened up the minds of people. It has opened up so many places within the republic. Na unajua wanasemanga, when you walk or when you're exposed, exposure is one very important thing in life. Yeah. So I can see that partly devolution has exposed the Republic of Kenya. It has exposed quite a number of counties, and those counties today can somehow also recognize that they're also part of the Republic of Kenya.
Okay, thank you so much, Makobura. We were just waiting. Me good has just dropped, and I wanted to engage. Thank you so much, Makobura. And I know we've taken a lot of time talking about the trending issues or issues that have emerged, especially in the day-to-day political arena. But now, let's switch gear a little bit and talk about what is happening. Miguda, I would start with you because you're back. I wanted to engage you. Yesterday, we saw legislatures, especially Wamuchomba, Babu-Wamuchomba, Anthony Kibagendi, and Sifuna, met at a place. And this is not the first time they are meeting. And I would want to bring you back when we had the ground movers remember when the first time when Wamuchomba and Babu-Wamuchomba came out and they said that the people who are going to fight for Kenyans, remember? And now they went to Saboti, where they had fundraising, and yesterday again they meet. Is there any powerful or some political force that is pushing them into that corner? Hello, Miguda. Can I hear Miguda, or Miguda is lost? Makobura, let me engage you, because seemingly maybe Miguda, I cannot catch up with Miguda. When you look at the legislators who came and had a conversation, do you feel there's somebody behind them?
Okay. Okay, thank you. I can say that I can't really say that there is someone behind there, because Honorable Sifuna, Wamuchomba, Babu, Kibagendi, and the member of parliament from the Trans Nzoia County. These are young members of parliament. Kibagendi has come out, for example. Let me give you history of each of them. Kibagendi is a member of ODM from Kisii County. He has come out to say that he will support whoever he thinks is going to deliver the people of Kenya from the kind of problems that Kenya are going through today. Partly, he has also mentioned and said that he's supporting Dr. Matiang'i.
Yeah.
And he believes that Matiang'i can deliver and can work well for the people of Kenya. That is Honorable Kibagendi. Let's come to Babu-Wamuchomba. Babu-Wamuchomba has also come out, not once but several times, to say that he's standing with the people of Kenya. He will not support things which are against the people of Kenya, even if ODM or his party is supporting.
Yeah.
Sifuna is the Secretary General of ODM. He has also come out vehemently to say that he's standing with the people of Kenya. Wamuchomba, on the other hand, a member of UDA, started having problems with the UDA government and the president himself long time ago. And, she started criticizing the moves by the government.
Yeah.
The member of parliament from Trans Nzoia, KARIBU, not once but several times, has also come out to to have different opinions on the stance of ODM. So these are just, I can call them young legislators who have seen that they need to unite. They need to come up with ways of assisting or ways of ensuring that their politics aligns with what the people of Kenya want. And I don't really think that these members of parliament are being sent with anyone. I think that they're just uniting as young people, young legislators who has what we call future in politics. And they're doing so because they know that if they do not really align with what the wishes of the people of Kenya, then their political future might as well be affected.
Okay, thank you so much. Miguda, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, thank you so much. And the same question that I asked Miguda, because do you feel, on your own opinion, when you see the leaders who met yesterday, and the stand they have, political stand they have, because there are people who don't agree with the current administration. When you talk about ODM, some of them, especially Babu-Wamuchomba and KARIBU, do not agree with the arrangement that the ODM have with the UDA. When you look at Wamuchomba too, is one of those who disagreed with UDA on the initial stages of the UDA. Actually, he's the only member of parliament who started to disagree with the president policy, I think, in the initial stages of the UDA administration. Do you feel there's somebody, a bigger political bigwig, especially that is behind them, that he's trying to create some political move, or if not political move, but create some space in the political arena so that some other political processes would take place?
I can say that one can be, maybe there might be hiding behind somebody.
Yeah.
Because we saw even Peter Salasya was moving across the country as a presidential candidate. And rumors had it that it's being fronted by the state. Is a Ruto project. These guys can be someone's project outside the government because one reason, in terms of finance, I don't think they can sustain the presidential campaign finance as per the team. Sifuna, Wamuchomba, Babu, Kibagendi, Caleb. Financial muscles, they can't match any presidential candidate right now. Even they can't match Rigathi Gachagua. So I think they can be, maybe, let me give it a benefit of doubt. Maybe someone like Jimmy Wanjigi, who is rich. Maybe someone like of such caliber might be regrouping a certain group to counter any effect of rising within the opposition. Because right now Gachagua is rising in the opposition, so they can create a function to ensure that we end up with two split opposition. Or it can be created so that Gachagua doesn't enjoy the support base of the Gen Z, so he retain the usual support, but the Gen Z support will go with the Sifuna team as things are concerned, because you will be weighing, if you are a Gen Z and you must you go with Gachagua or the Sifuna team. So if they don't want Gachagua to enjoy the full support of that wave, so maybe they can create that team. But in that team, we have people with different ambitions, and they are not aiming at one position. And also, have been disengagement with their political parties. For instance, there has been a disengagement of Sifuna and the ODM, Babu, you understand, Anthony Kibagendi, and also Wamuchomba to disengage Gachagua. So I think maybe it can be a faction that can be used to ensure that the opposition, as currently constituted, does not enjoy the massive support of the young people. So it can be rendered to this current group, maybe.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm seeing our good friend Simba Natembeya. Habari gani kaka? How are you doing, sir?
Salamu sana.
Uko mzuri?
Salama kabisa, brother Ben.
Okay, thank you so much. I want you to share with us your thought, especially on what is happening about the team ground that is now Kenya Moja, as our friend Apopsima MOU is describing them. Do you feel they are working on their own interest, or there's a force behind them that has an intention to koroga vitu hapa kwa politics za Kenya?
Brother Ben.
Yes, sir.
Kenya is made of families, villages, constituencies, counties, sub-counties, and the regions.
Yes, sir.
Those people are coming from certain regions, from certain constituencies, from certain villages in Kenya.
Yeah.
Simply, kile kitu nitakuambia ni kitu kimoja. Ni kama umepeleka kondoo kulisha, ikapotea ikaingia kichakani, hiyo itakuliwa na fisi.
So kwako unamaanisha maviongozi hakuna mali wanaenda?
They are headed to nowhere. Those are lost food. They represent no one.
But if you look at Babu Owino, look at Edwin Sifuna, Caleb Amisi, Wamuchomba, Kibagendi, how there are people who seems to be loved by the public because what they stand for.
Ideologically loved by who? Their political parties took them to parliament. political parties. Without those political parties, they represent nothing and nobody.
Okay, so which means maybe they are working under the direction of an unseeable force somewhere?
There is a force, and I can say it's like a storm which lasts for a very short time. It will be over soon.
For how long do you expect them to stay relevant in the political arena?
At the end of this term, they will diminish and they'll be forgotten. By the way, they will be swept under the carpets and the house will remain clean.
And just to engage you for the last time, for not for the last time, but before I invite my friend, we are seeing Kibagendi. Kibagendi is one of those people that have been very close, the leaders who have been very close with Matiang'i. And we are also seeing Wamuchomba also has been kind of like close with Matiang'i. And if you look at Edwin Sifuna and Babu-Wamuchomba, these are Raila Amolo Odinga's sons in politics, and they're trying to run away from their father due to the fact that what the stand their father has taken with this administration. And does it mean that they are trying to switch their loyalty to the opposition?
Kibagendi one time was youth leader at UDA. What made Kibagendi to be elected in an ODM ticket? It was the people, not the ideas he had. Sifuna one time contested in Bungoma. Did he won? He came to Nairobi. Nairobi was a base for someone. So what is it? Babu, we know it's because of Raila. You remove the name Raila, Babu, we know only DJ Evolve can tell the story.
Okay. Thank you so much, my brother. You can hold on as I bring in my brother, Makobura. Makobura, do you share the same with our guest that the leaders who are trying to break away from their political parties, they are not anything without their party? Their party is what has made them to be who they are.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Brother Ben. I can say that the party has made them who they are today, but partly I have to say that they were also strong politicians, and because of that, they convinced the people and they showed interest in that seat, went and convinced the people, and upon convincing the people thought that they were the right candidates and they were given the opportunity. I can categorically say that up to this point, the said members of parliament, they've been in politics, they've learned how to do politics, how to play politics, and I can say that they have their own supporters. So as much as the party has made them who they are, I can categorically as well say that they've gained supporters. I mean, they've had their own supporters. They have a group of people who believes in their leadership. And again, there's a difference. There's something different that we also have to acknowledge. We are at a point when the politics of the country is changing, and it is being changed by the young people. It is being changed by the Gen Zs. So as much as these members were made by their parties, we have to acknowledge that going forward, it is not just party that is going to decide to decide and to make decisions. This is a point, we are at a point of time when the people of Kenya, the citizens of the Republic of Kenya, majority of them have noticed and they've known that they are facing problems, and out of the problems that they are facing, some of them are being united and they're coming back to their senses, getting and understanding the fact that if they don't make the right decisions, if they don't follow political parties, they are going nowhere. They've come to realize that they have to elect individuals, they have to elect leaders, they have to elect people with them, people who understand them. And that is why, as much as we've had strong political parties making decisions on behalf of political leaders, this time round it is going to be a little bit different, because the political environment is changing. The generation that is currently popularly known as the Gen Zs are also changing the politics. So those are the things that we have to put in consideration when we are discussing these members of parliament.
Okay, thank you, Makobura. And let me bring in Miguda, because we've talked about the political landscape is changing with the constituency of the Gen Z. But Miguda, if you look across all the political divides, the Gen Z do associate themselves with all these politicians. At what point will it be that the larger population will decide to go with who and why?
I think the Gen Z, the Gen Z, this is a question whereby it's somehow very difficult to answer sometimes, because you find out that the Gen Z are aligned to different political parties. The Gen Z who are aligned to DCP and the ODM, UDA, and another political party. And there are also Gen Z who are undecided, who are yet to try to make their decision, and who are also trying to push other new faces. But when we end up with the two people as our popular candidates in the presidential elections, the Gen Z either way must split. There's no way they can agree, because you find out even the people who went to State House, initially they were saying Ruto must go, but when they went to State House, they're saying 2 term. So it's like there's a constituency which is undecided, the younger people. So I can't just authoritatively report to you that the Gen Zs are in a certain corner with their party, with their leader, and they're going to vote. So for now, as things stand, Gen Z are still flip-flopping, depending on the interest placed on the table by different political. And also remember, the people who are tried to be firm and stagnant, they have remained alone. People like Joshua Okayo and other people. But the people who decided to move with the wave, like Kasmer and the friends who went to ODM, Kebaso went to DCP, then inject and move. They are trying to now engage within the political parties structures. Most of them have, even leave alone the ones you are seeing on the mainstream media. There are people on the grassroots, in the villages, in towns, who have also engaged, and actually they want to vie for the MCAs. They have decided to engage political parties in a different regions on where for instance, those Gen Zs who are coming from ODM base, they have decided to go and vie in ODM ticket. So that I can't say that the Gen Z are just in a uniform somewhere, they are associating with political parties and are going to speak in one unison. For now, they have been split. They are for 2 term and they are for 1 term, and they keep on flip-flopping depending on the interest. And also know that the all Gen Zs are enlightened, because people are saying, okay, these Gen Zs were taught by Kibaki, walisoma, wanajua. Not that all Gen Zs are enlightened, for your information. There's also a good number of the Gen Zs who are not informed for the information. There are a good number of the young people who are not informed. Not that the entire Gen Z went to school. No. There are a good number of Gen Z who never went to school. The entire number of Gen Z who are not accessing the technology, who are not even on their platforms like X Spaces, a good number. So those ones, they will just decide when the right time comes.
Okay, thank you so much. Simba, do you believe in the constituency of Gen Z that has always been the conversation of every leader, every politician? It's a conversation that is all over most social media and everywhere. People talk about this Gen Z. Do you believe in this constituency? And if so, how can they bring any changes, either positive or negative, especially when you're talking about the political processes in the country?
Brother Ben.
Yes, sir.
we have been in this space for quite some time, and without avoidance of doubt, there's nothing like Gen Z. I want to assure you, and it's good that Miguda has said it right, that we have political parties and the communities. We have no a political party for Gen Zs, nor a sub-tribe or a tribe called Gen Z in Kenya. Kenyan politics is local, even in central Kenya, where one term is dominant. In Kiambu now, there is a theory coming up of Rivachania yenye ilisukumwa sana na mtu mwenye alifanya hiyo theory ikafunjika, ilikuwa Raila Odinga. So hawa ndio wamesema Raila aliwasaliti. The same case alifunja hiyo theory ya Rivachania, uongozi hauwezi kuka Rivachania. So naweza nikakuambia, let's cross the bridge when we are there. Uniambie wataleta percentage kiasi gani kwa mesa?
Oh, go ahead. I lost you, Simba. Hello, Simba, are you still around? I lost Simba. We were just talking about the constituency of the Gen Z, and Simba is just asking, let's wait until we reach there. We will look at what nini wataleta kwa meza, and maybe Makobura, as Simba is coming back, I don't know he's going to come back. Is there some historical lessons that majority of the young Gen Z do not understand, especially when it comes to the political of the country? Because like there's that misunderstanding, especially if you listen to Simba. Simba is saying that they don't exist, you know, and talking about all the River Chanya, you know, where that one.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Allow me to give my comments. I'm not disputing anything that Simba is saying.
Yeah.
But I'm just giving my comments based on how I see politics and based on the current status and the current feeling of this generation. I can tell you that I'm a Gen Z. And if someone, for example, start telling me that, you know, the historical political things which had happened, if someone, for example, I'm coming from the Nyanza region, if someone then starts telling me that, you know, the Nyanza, I mean the Luo community, for example, had problems with the Kikuyu region, community, personally, I'm not going to buy that. The reason why I'm not going to buy that is because the kind of sufferings that I'm going through, I am quite sure that I've got friends coming from those Kikuyu community who are also going through the same things. And we are united. The only thing that we share in common is the suffering that we are going through as a people. And for that reason, if we fail to acknowledge the enemy, which is the suffering and which is being caused by the political class, then Mimi Basi as a Gen Z, then I think I'll be such a confused person if I want to, for example, buy a narrative that there is a problem between the two communities. And that is why I'm trying to say that, well, Simba has his stake, but we have to accept this fact that currently the environment is changing, the political environment is changing, the thinking of the people is changing, and even if you ask, today if you go to campaign, it is not the way people used to campaign 10 years ago. Why? It is because there is what we call there is what we call change, and change is coming with generations. If I go to YouTube, for example, and I try look the kind of campaigns that which were being done in 2010 going backwards, I was sick that people were given things, vitu zingine zimetengenezwa na pepa ndio walikuwa naeka kwa kichwa kama ugudu ni nini?
Kofia.
Kama kofia.
Mm.
Na hizo vitu sijui zilikuwa zimeandikwa yes, sijui no, na zilikuwa karatasi ikinyeshewa zinaisha. Today we are not seeing that kind of things. I remember when I was in early primary, guest of honor walikuwa nakuja, alafu wanapewa vitu zingine zimetengenezwa na karatasi alafu wanapewa wanahang hapa kwa kifua. Yeah, we don't see such kind of things. Why? It's because the environment is changing, and even the thinking is changing. Everything is changing. We have to accept that change is here with us. And we have to acknowledge change. And change sweeps. Change ikikuja inafagia kila kitu yenye iko mbele. And so I'm just trying to say that even politics is changing. We have to accept that fact. Whoever is not believing or accepting the fact that politics is also changing, I think that person is still sleeping. The politics that is currently played is not the politics that was played in 2007. The reason why you're seeing a group of people coming from different regions, from different communities, from different tribes, and they're going for demonstration. What does that tell you? Have you ever seen, since independence, people from all regions coming out to go for a demonstration? Those days, the demonstration that we used to see were, a group of people coming from certain regions coming to criticize, and it was being targeted. Ilikuwa inawekwa, inasemekana ya kwamba sijui ni hii kabila inapigana na hii. Currently, we saw demonstration here in the Republic of Kenya. Did you see people say that it was this community against this community? So the thinking is changing. The narrative should also change. The thinking has to change. If they don't change their thinking and how they play it, then they will be swept away. And that is why you're even seeing it is difficult for William Samoei Ruto and the old political class to survive, because each generation, they do not understand the whole political narratives. If you come and you start telling us that CGO, because of that community, we've never gotten to presidency, it is because of CG Martha Karua that Raila did not get to be the president. Sisi hatutaki kusikia hizo. Sisi tunataka kusikia, we are giving you a chance, you're going to work, we are currently unemployed, tell us you're going to give us work and show us the way. You have to give us practical ways and to show us that this is going to work. We do not want anything else.
Okay. Miguda's left. I wanted to engage you. So Makubura, because you're talking about Gen Z, there's this scenario that I want to give you. Miguda is back. Miguda, the conversation has generated and we've gone back to the Gen Z, and we will connect it to the political moves that Sifuna and the rest of them are doing. When we come to the Gen Z, we have educated Gen Z who they're educated and they are graduates, let's say that. And they are also uneducated Gen Z. They have their population. We also have employed Gen Z, unemployed Gen Z. Those they fall in the category of educated but not employed. There are those who are falling at are not educated but employed. And when I'm talking of employment, I'm not talking about all the employment in any, and there are those who have like any of them when you take at that category. How will the educated, non-educated, the employed, and all that play part, especially when it comes to voting? How are they going to make those choices when you look at you're dealing with uneducated, and also you also have to consider that some of them are, a larger population also lives in the village, where they cannot access the social media platform where major conversation do take place, but they access the information to do with the empowerment, because like the empowerment go to the ground. How are they going to how are they going to maneuver that? How are they going to play it? How is it going to play? Miguda.
Oh, okay. First,
on my camera.
First, I believe that, like I've said before, the Gen Z are diverse in in tribe, also in thinking. And we had even Gen Z who are not educated but are currently employed. And we have Gen Z who are self-employed. And not that all Gen Zs are politically charged. There is a constituency of Gen Z who have interest in football. There are those who have interest maybe in economics, in statistics. They have different. There are those who also have interest in maybe the gospel of the kingdom of God. Not that the entire Gen Z constituency is just politically charged. We are diverse. And there's those who are concerned about family. So whenever I usually get my intels, when I'm calling my Gen Z to inquire from them, there are those people who are so much interested on the cost of living than any other thing. So when it comes to the decision making, always is good to have a representative, or it's always good to have a leadership structure. I now understand the importance of it, even though people are saying a leader will be bribed or bought. But it's very important to have someone who advocate your agenda, who push for your agenda. Very much important. Because if you can't exist in a vacuum whereby you are a Gen Z, but there's no clear structure on your relationship with the political parties. So to me, I just still believe that it's very important to ensure that we had a proper structure on leadership when it comes to political discourse.
Okay, thank you so much, Miguda, for giving us a take and for clarifying, giving a clarification on that matter. Something else that maybe you can give your take on is same on the issue of these members of parliament. Okay, maybe before you come in, allow me to. I can see Simba is back. Simba, you were supposed to finish your. You were giving your comments. Would you kindly finish first? Simba, can you hear me? Hello, Simba, natembea. Are you there? Good. I think our guest is not really. I don't know whether he's having a problem with the network or what. Yeah, so Miguda, maybe something else that you can give your take on is the issue of these particular members of parliament. Do you think they're going to be accepted, of course, by the young people? Migu, Simba, are you there?
Nakusikia Miguda.
Okay, then ulikuwa unapeana maoni yako huko, umemaliza sijui ni network ilikuwa shida ama ni nini? Maybe you can finish. Then, yes? I think he's having a problem with this network. Migura, I'm asking you, what is your take on the reception that these members of parliament are going to get? Of course, being that we are saying the environment is changing, the political landscape is as well changing. What kind of reception are they going to get? Are they going to be watamalizika vile tuliona wengine walitoka, the big political parties na waliisha, the likes of Babu-Wamuchomba? Do you think with these members of parliament, for example, if they leave their respective political parties, which kind of environment or ground are they going to get? Are they going to find a good reception? Are they going to, to be neglected by the citizens, the electorates? What is your take?
There are some of them who are going to find it rough. There are some of them who are going to find it difficult, because not that all of them are going to make a comeback. Because like I've told you, this is risk taking. They are taking risk and they are making sacrifice. You understand that even Gachagua lost his seat as the deputy president of Kenya. So to me, sometimes you can find out that some people are sick and tired. For instance, I can be sick and tired of an association with somebody. So I say, okay, even if it's going to cost me to lose my parliamentary seat, so be it, because I can no longer subscribe to your school of thoughts.
Okay. Thank you, Miguda. Yes, Simba, you can proceed.
Nilikuwa nimesahau kidogo mahali nilikuwa nimefika kwa sababu nilipata hitilafu kidogo, lakini nataka nikuambie hivi.
Yes.
The kind of reception hawa wabunge wanaenda kupata, especially kwa strongholds za chama cha ODM, haitakuwa rahisi. Itabidi wa exercise their physical fitness ili kujizuia ama kutojitokesha kabisa. Hiyo ndio itakuwa awamu yao ya kwanza ya kuanza kupoteza umaarufu wao, kwa sababu kama ilivyo kawaida, wale ambao wanakuwa waasi ndani ya vyama vyao, I think uliona kitu yenye ilifanyikia wengi kama akina Magerero Lagat, watu kama Mwaura ambaye ni spokesman wa government ati Kasarani, na wengine ambao wamejaribu kulete mapinduzi ya ndani ya chama. Ya muhimu ama mimi kwa usaidizi wangu kwao kwa kisiasa, wajiusulu, by elections siko karibu, tarehe zao siwe karibu, warudi kama wako na huo uwezo ambao wamejiwekea. Huo umaarufu utadhihirisha kwamba ni kweli walikuwa wamejipanga. Lakini kama hawatafanya hivyo, hayo yataonyeshwa waziwazi mbele ya vyombo vya habari, na ninafikiria hayo tutajadili hivi karibuni. Ile furugu yenye wanaenda kupatana nayo, saizi ni vizuri waanze kutafuta zile pickup ambazo ni second hand watembelee, kwa sababu hizo gas zao zitakuwa katika hatarini hivi karibuni.
Okay, thank you, Simba. And I think from your statement, you're saying that they're going to find a very hostile ground, a ground that has been charged, of course, courtesy of the political party that they've just, maybe they're thinking of leaving. And that, of course, brings me to this question. Why do you think, Simba and Miguda, why do you think that we've had a political environment where the moment you have a diversion or the moment you have a different opinion from the party or from the party leader, then what we've always seen is that the party uses the power that it has to make it hostile for you, you know, from getting to your constituency or from getting to the ground, to also as well, just like the Constitution of the Republic says that we are in a democratic country, to also find and have the democratic right to interact and to ask for votes like others. Why is it that we are not yet there, and yet we call ourselves that we are in a country, a democratic country, a country that respects the rule of law? Simba, and then Miguda can give us his take on that, and then maybe after that you give us final remarks.
Makobura.
Yes.
Hawa wajumbe na kampeni yenye ilifanywa, kuna watu ambao wangechaguliwa. So chama ilifanya makubaliano ambayo yalikuwa ya hali ya juu ili kuafikia kwamba hawa ndio wanapewa tikiti cha chama. Kufikia mahali tulipo, Baba Raila Odinga, ile sacrifices ametoa kwa hii nchi haiwezi ikakuwa drained down the hill by young lads who even have no political ideas only that they have been brought to the table by just calling their names, come sit here and eat. That is why for the believers, sisi tunajiita believers. By the way, majina yangu kamili yako hapo kwa comment section for a very long time, so you can guess.
Okay, for believers. Okay, very well. Miguda, what is your take? Miguda, unasemaje kuhusu the view that has been there in the Republic of Kenya, where if you live, for example, ODM, and it has a stronghold within the Nyanza region, then they make it tough for you from getting back to that ground, maybe with another party, or maybe coming back with maybe independent. Why is it that we've had such kind of instances, Miguda?
I haven't heard your question, but if it relates to...
It's the question that Simba just gave his comments.
Okay. I may just want to say, actually, there are people who are going to face the music. There are people who are not going to be elected if they walked out. I can assure you that there are people who might not make a comeback, depending on the historical events. So, to me, I can say that if at all, because it's also an individual decision, if at all they have decided not to join politics in the near future, they can just walk out, so that if they are not elected, they can do other things other than politics. But generally, in each and every kingdom, there must be one ruler at a time. We can't have two rulers at a time. That's why you find out that people tend to follow one person at a time. That when that person exits, then another one can emerge. And these young people who are having ambitions, to me, if they could be a little bit patient, which they are not, they could have taken the people. But now, if you can't fit within the kingdom, you can form your own kingdom, according to me. So if that's the decision they have made, let them form their own kingdom, their political party, and see if they can have their people, or if the current people who support them can follow them. That one is very much in order. But there's no reason why by a king is still alive, then a king is observing you trying to take over from him. You know, that way you're creating threats to the old guards. They won't allow it to succeed. So it's always good. It is always good to find another kingdom or establish a different home, so that you can have you can establish your authority other than the current, because there is no way you can purport to be a follower of somebody and the ruler and the subject, then you want also to be the king at the same time. To me, that's why we have those frictions in ODM, because Babu is ambitious. Though Sifuna is not seem to be ambitious, but I don't know what is disturbing Sifuna so much that he must walk out. For Babu, we can understand that for him, he want to be the governor, but the position of the party is to negotiate with the UDA, the position of the governor. That one might affect him. But Sifuna, there was no negotiation between anybody. So I don't know what is it that is disturbing Sifuna so much. But the issue of Babu-Wamuchomba, you understand, and Kibagendi, you understand, and Caleb, you understand. But this issue that is making Sifuna to make such political, I can say political miscalculation, I don't know what is informing Sifuna, but for other people, we can understand. So that's why I'm telling you, it is very much, most of them, not that all of them are going to make a comeback if they decided to do so. And if they don't do so, right now they have been marked. They have been seen as people who who are thorn in the flesh. So I think even going forward, they are not going to be trusted. So they have made political miscalculation, to my view. Because let me give you an example. If you look at the Babu-Wamuchomba, Babu-Wamuchomba has already even produced campaign materials. Like I saw some people with the reflectors, overalls, written Babu-Wamuchomba, rescue Nairobi, Nairobi rescue team, Nairobi response, not rescue team. That was for Sonko. Nairobi response. So it's like, and if you look at the reflector, they're in orange color. So what if he's not given a ODM ticket? How are you gonna come? So it's a matter of wasting resources. So I think there are people who are prepared before, like Babu, who have already produced the materials to campaign for the Nairobi gubernatorial, but now things have turned the way they are. But sometimes also you have to accept that things must be done that way. So lastly, I'd just like to say that not all of them are gonna make a comeback if at all they decided to chart their own political way. Very few of them can make a comeback, or maybe one, but majority are just going to be politically relevant.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Simba, you'll give us your last remarks on anything that you think you might as well add that you think we've not talked about, and your last remarks. And then Meguda will also come and give us his last remarks on anything that we've not spoken about. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you're watching for the first time, kindly like and subscribe. It is a way of assisting us and supporting us. Sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Allow me to acknowledge and say a big thank you to everyone who is engaging us at the comment section. We really appreciate. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Simba, you can give us, you can speak about anything that is still pending, and your last remarks. Simba, are you there? Okay, Miguda, maybe you can give us your last remarks, or if anything that is still pending we've not spoken.
Just want to give my last thought. Let me appreciate our viewers, Apopsimo, Gypsecona, Laban Misiani, Jiro, Brenda. I was able to see those ones. We feel great for you for coming to the show and engaging in the comment section. It is always very important to engage so that we can get feedback from you. The feedback is very positive for the channel because it keeps us going. So we understand where we are. You know, we are not that perfect. We are not all knowing. So by having different views, at least we can get to the right trajectory. I want to also appreciate our host, Makobura and Brother Benson, and also Simba Netabia. Appreciating you for coming to the show and also giving us your thoughts. And we appreciate you because this is the first time. All your opinions has been incorporated. They count, irrespective of how you have said them, just like another person. We still appeal to our viewers to kindly subscribe to the channel and also give us thumbs up, and also you can share the video. That's the way you can assist this channel to grow. See you next time. Bye bye, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much, Miguda. Okay, Popsimao. I don't know whether that was father then Tembea somebody. Miguda, I don't know whether huyo alikuwa ni father Didi, I don't know.
Nashuku alikuwa Laban Misiani.
Laban Misiani. Yeah, okay.
Alikuwa Laban Misiani. Alikuwa Laban Misiani. Sasa nashuku. Hiyo Laban hiyo nini L ya purple ni yake last time alijia nayo, lakini hakupata nafasi ya kuzungumza. Lakini huyo ni Laban Misiani. We appreciate you. I understand now he has come to the show.
Laban kwanza angesema tu ni Laban, alafu pia mimi niliko na maswali mingi pia nataka kumuuliza.
Angesema juu alijua mngemuuliza maswali ya tutam.
Okay, let me say kama ilikuwa ni Laban, then Laban, I'm still waiting for you. I hope I'll find you once again, because I have so many questions that I've piled for you, Laban Misiani, for that reason. So apopsy here is saying that apopsy means my take in Greek. Nice conversation. Apopsy mo.
Apopsy mo ndio my take. My take amechukua Greek leo ama my take we know all the other now. This is a different one.
I don't think this can't be my take. My take is my take was someone with a very different way of addressing things. So I don't think this. Anyway, thank you so much, our viewers, for even some of you by there are confusing us with the name, but it's okay. We understand. We are in Kenya, and sometimes you have to be smart in a way. So it is okay. We really appreciate Apopsy Mo, to a good friend Gypsy Corner, of course Laban Misiani. I did see Brother Njiru was also in. Speak and Hail, thank you so much. Of course, not forgetting I'd also seen Brenda Obedi. Brenda was also in, and everyone who joined and gave us the opinion. We really, really appreciate. Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate, and we hope that you guys enjoyed the conversation. If you're new still, I'm reminding you that this is the Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. You can support us by subscribing to the channel and also commenting or giving us your take at the comment section. Usipoingia lakini you've engaged us at the comment section, that is still very much okay, because if you engage us, that gives us the morale, and it also opens our minds, because we need to hear people having different views. We are not politically aligned to any any political party. We are independent individuals giving independent views. And then what we are doing here is mainly a conversation that is geared towards the betterment of our country, a conversation that is all geared, just like I've said, to the betterment of our country. We are not in any way criticizing any politician, but we are simply giving our views. If a politician is not doing right, as a people, we have a right to come out and, remind them to do what is right. Either way, if they do something positive or good, we have a reason to come out and comment and to say thank you, because we are all human beings. Yeah, so that is what I can say. Thank you so much, everyone who joined, and for giving us your take. This is Brother Benson Media. And of course, here we say that your opinion counts. If you're new, kindly like and subscribe. Allow me to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow.